What's up, everyone? Welcome to another content video slash mini podcast reveal episode 0.5 or 1/2, whatever you want to call this. Not our official podcast just yet. We're waiting to release the name and more details on that. But we did want to kind of test the waters and have like a mini podcast and an update on telling you guys kind of what's going on. First and foremost, we're like a wedding production company. We also shoot documentaries and are opening this podcast studio. It is the busiest time of year for weddings. Just letting you guys know. So that's kind of why we're kind of like feeling like doing an update video and telling you guys like kind of what we've been really busy with.
Yeah. Because while it's our busiest time of the year for weddings, we still have a whole lot of other things that we've been working on that we've been excited to share with you guys. You guys got a sneak peek of our podcast reveal a couple weeks ago. And we just want to kind of clear out some more details for you guys and give you the scoop.
As you can see, the cameras are working, microphones are working, lights look great. We're still like moving things around the studio here and there, changing camera angles and everything, but we feel like we have everything locked in to kind of start hosting podcasts here. And with that being said, we have like a 3-tier system that we thought we were going to run this podcast based on, so we can fit multiple price ranges and also multiple areas of what people need and what they don't need. We want to fit in every single budget we can. So tier 1 is just $50 for an hour of the studio. Now you'll have 10 to 20 minutes to set up and tear down on both ends, but you'll have an hour here with no producer. You bring your own SD cards, you kind of take away all that stuff with you, and that would be $50 for every hour.
Yeah, and it's as hands-off as we would be. So this is either you have your own producer or you're literally just coming in, throwing SD cards in a camera, pressing record on your laptop through the mixing board, and then you're done. The benefit of this would just be if you're trying to maybe test the waters. You just want to try it out, see how your flow goes with having a video side of things, and you're not trying to make a bigger investment to use the studio.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the first tier. The second tier would be having one of us as a producer. So that's would be sitting over there at that desk to pull up anything that you were talking about or kind of researching. If you didn't know an answer to something, you could just ask us to kind of like do a little bit of research. Or if you want to watch a video or react to something, we can throw it up on the TV behind us seamlessly from that desk. We can be a part of all of that as well. Kind of make the show run a little smoother if you want a little bit of help, and that would be $75 per hour. You get the studio, and then you'd also get one of us as the producer to kind of run things and kind of if you have like questions that you like to be answered, we can pull up those emails and give you the questions if you have like fans or something that you want answered questions answered to. But just kind of facilitate the whole podcast.
Yeah, and I could see this being a little more attractive to the person that's like solo trying to do it. They don't have a producer on lock. They don't have extra people to help them, and they just need a little extra help on the like back end of it, if you will. And it's also part of like the whole production side of it, throwing things on the TV, bringing up different stats, looking up things from fans, so on and so forth. So.
Yeah. And if you have any like fun segments during your podcast, we can pull that up too, like a reaction part, or like I said before, if you have any questions that would like to be answered from like fans or any viewers or anything, just basically just help the podcast flow. So we're here for that, and we'll also utilize this TV as much as possible because I think it'll be really cool to have that in the shot too, and to see people's reactions in real time to what you're watching and talking about.
And also we can do something very similar to what we have right now, where it's just like our logo. If you were to have a logo that you just want up on the screen, that's 100% doable as well.
Yep. And the third and final tier would be having the space, a producer, and also we would edit the entire podcast. You see here we're using 3 cameras. We would have a 4th for the producer. So we would edit that, have any titles or anything you have in the intro as well, music, a title, or maybe an animation or something for your intro. We could have all of that, and we would just produce that and also post it for you with a description or anything you want. If not, that's cool too. We can just pretty much edit it and send that to you as well, like all packaged up and ready. And then the only other thing we have after those 3 tiers are like a couple add-ons where, oh, our screen changed. So we have a little bit of things to tinker with here. One of them would be the television settings. So,
yes. Thank you, Roku.
Thank you, Roku. Sponsored by Roku and Bucky's.
Yes, when the sleep timer doesn't mean anything on a Roku TV, because apparently it's still going to go to the lock screen.
Something we can fix, I think.
Yes, yeah.
So there would be add-ons, and that would be if you want shorts. Shorts are great for Instagram, YouTube. Getting subscribers are really great for that. So if you wanted shorts, we would do every short would be $20, or you could do 3 for $50. So if you want to bundle all those shorts, 3 for $50. Or just do 1 or 2, and we'd include those. We would edit that and just send that over to you to be posted. Or if you want, we could post that up for you as well. But that 50 tier, the 75, and then the $100 tier is kind of what we're thinking. Just the space plus producer, space plus producer plus full edit of your podcast.
Yeah, and kind of just delivered in a way where all you have to do is upload it. You know, whether that's just like writing a quick description, and we can have different relationships with different podcasters once you guys are in the space to where if you guys want certain things added, we're flexible in that regard. But we're trying to really offer things in a way that we can be as hands off or hands on as you guys want. And we feel like with this 3-tier system or package deal is that it fits that. You can be in here by yourself, essentially, or you can just come in and podcast and then leave and know that you're going to have, whether it's a weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, whatever the rate that you're doing podcasts or using the space for, it's just going to be there ready for you. You want to add shorts, it builds your social media up like crazy. I know that we've seen the effects of posting different shorts, and we'll continue to see it when we start our own podcast, and we'll be releasing shorts throughout that, getting subscriber counts up. So it helps in all those ways.
Yeah. And you see the lights behind us. We just chose blue today, but if you have, a specific color choice you like, we have 4 of these so we can mix and match colors. And everything you see behind me, we don't have these shelves like nearly as full as we want them, but we can customize those shelves, and we have storage for you if you want to just store things here, and then we can place them on the back of, or on the shelf behind me prior to you coming in, so it doesn't take any time for you to set up. We can just know where everything goes, and it'll pretty much be ready for you when you get here. So that 10 to 20 minutes of setup time, it shouldn't really even take that long, because we're going to do the majority of that as well, which is basically set up the studio for your specific podcast. Lighting, and also the things you see behind us. We want to really customize it to every single podcast to make it a little different for everyone.
Yeah.
And we have our guest couch right there. It's in the perfect location for us. We can see you guys, on whoever's going to be a guest on the show right there. So we have room for 2 guests and a podcast and a producer. So a lot of cool stuff.
Which would also include another camera angle for the guests.
Yes.
So you can have up to 5
cameras. Yep.
Operating at the same time. And that really helps if you have the people to do that. It really helps make things super dynamic in your podcast video, which, as we all know, with attention spans the way they are, it's always about changing shot angle, showing a different person. This gives you the ability to show up to 5 or even 6 or 5 people.
Yeah, 5 total.
5 total people.
Yeah, so three cameras like you see now, and then plus the podcast or producer camera we have, and then the guest camera. So a total of 5 cameras. We use Sony cameras are great. We have A7 3s and 4s that we'll have ready for you. And we shoot an S-Log. If you don't want to shoot an S-Log, that's fine. If you want to just take the true color, that's cool. But S-Log is just more dynamic to edit. You could do more with it. And so, yeah, I mean, it's really just what you want. We just want to facilitate in the podcast that you want with a nice space. And I think we have most of our bases covered with that. We just have a few little things to fix up and think about, but it's very, very close. So we want to keep you guys updated on that we're making big strides in this podcast studio. As you can see, it's just about done.
Yeah, and also like these are all things that we can have a conversation with if or when you are actually looking to book the studio. There'll be something similar to like a consult or a meeting where we find out, hey, what exactly do you want? How long do you want the space for? Is it going to fit in an hour? Do you want it 2 hours? Are you doing long form? Are you doing short form? Like what exactly are you trying to get from the space, and customizing it, like James said, to your needs. And yeah, we are super excited about how things are turning out so far.
Yeah, it's almost there. And the second thing would be our documentary that we've been working on for a while now, and we're hoping to have it done by the end of this year. However, it's looking closer to like middle of next year. We're at the point now where we're just researching and including B-roll that we can find that we've shot at these locations, or that we can archive from the internet, or get through what do we use, Envato. They have like a lot of things that we've been using, stock footage, source, some of it, but other things like historical footage. So we're at that point of the documentary. We have the story told. The story is told. It's about an hour and 40 something minutes right now.
So like exactly as you said. I think it's an hour and 40, hour and 50, somewhere in there, which we're still gonna hopefully be able to cut that down a little bit. But like you just said, the story's told. We have everybody's part that we're gonna use already set there, which is super exciting. Even just watching it back between like the times that we've been going over B-roll and stuff, it's like I am so happy with the way that the story has come together throughout the hour and 47 minutes that it is right now. Adding the B-roll, which I think is even going to be the more fun part, because now we get to go back and see all like of our best shots.
Those are the shots that get me excited.
Adding all of the
shots,
livestock shots, all of like just everything. Those some of my favorite shots I haven't even seen in that timeline that we're working in yet. So I think things are going to get real exciting.
Like I said, the story is told. We just need to add B-roll over top of it and then incorporate music. We have two musician friends that do this, that are great musicians, and actually are paid to make different compositions of music. So we're hoping to keep most of the entire documentary original scores, and I think that'll just add so much to the overall like aesthetic and professionalism of the documentary if we have those custom scores throughout the documentary, heighten emotion and everything. So that is going to take a minute, but we're hoping that by middle of next year, hoping like June, July, maybe, that we can actually release it. It's just going to take a little bit more time. Like we're going to be pretty free in like February and March and April, just how our schedule breaks down with weddings next year. So we're going to have like months to work on this. And I think if you only knew like how much we did with how little time, you'd, it's impressive, but we really just want to dedicate like weeks on end to this to finish it.
I think the fact that we have been working on it, or at least like the idea was birthed 2 years ago. So that's a long time. We put a lot into this, and to have it come out as anything short of what we think is the best quality product that we can come up with.
At the beginning of this, we said we're not going to release unless we're proud of it. And right now, I'm proud of it. So it's just like kind of finishing it. It's going to take some time, but we want to give everything like the right amount of attention. Like we want to give people that are paying us a lot of money to cover their weddings, we want to give them the attention that they deserve. When people rent out the studio, we want to have all of these things covered, all the questions answered. So when they come in, that's ready to go. Same thing with this documentary. And I think we will have time in the future to spend on it, so it shouldn't take like that long. I think once we actually get started, it'll be a pretty quick process. So maybe even before mid year next year. But fingers crossed.
And one of the things that like people have been asking me, at least, and I'm sure you've been getting the same questions, is just like, okay, well, where are you gonna put it? How are we gonna see it? And that's a big question for us to answer. So like, we could have a final edit, right? And then we might need a couple months to like try and sell it and make sure that we can like show our family and friends maybe. But before I just like throw it up on our YouTube, we're going to see if we can make a bigger splash with this. We think that the content's there. We think that the story's there. We think that what we put into it with the quality of what we have is there to make it on a streaming site. So we're going to do our best to see if we can get it there.
Yeah, we're looking into like distributors, someone that has those networks and connections with Hulu or Amazon, or there's so many now, like Apple. There's a lot to there's a wide net to cast, I think, with a distributor, and hopefully we can figure out what those deals look like, because we don't want to stop making documentaries. You know, like we want to keep making them, and this is going to be the biggest learning process of the whole thing, is like what these deals look like and how to make these deals with a distributor or someone else that has those connections. Yeah. So
yeah, and it's kind of a call out to anyone that has been a subscriber or have followed our page, has kind of followed our story. If you know anyone, like reach out.
Yeah.
We're really looking to kind of do everything that we can possible to make sure that like as many eyes see this documentary as possible.
Yeah.
That's my biggest focus. I know that throughout the process of making this documentary and researching for this documentary, it has definitely changed my life. And the way that I think about what I eat. And I think that change could be implemented in a lot of people if they just were able to see what we've seen.
Yeah, if we can do it, everyone can do it.
Yeah,
if we
absolutely.
can change. Because it's relatively easy. You just have to kind of know where your food's coming from. And just to rewind a little bit, I'm sure people have been following us know, but the documentary is about regenerative farming, kind of like across the United States, and what that means in terms of like our health, the soil health, the future of agriculture, policy, politics. I mean, we cover it all, and we went literally from coast to coast of this country, interviewing people that have done it their whole lives to make it their life work, to make our food more nutritious through healthier soil. And it's just like a really cool story about community and these individual farmers, as well as a broader context of like politics and policy. So it's really cool. Like I said, the story is there, and that to me, I think, was the hardest part. That was the most daunting for me, was telling the story the way that seemed clear and flowing, and just like documentaries do, where you're just like, that was well told. And you know, I'm like, can I do that? But you know, you never know unless you do it. You know, you just have to do it.
And I think that like the to speak to what you just said about making sure everything flowed, like we had over 9 hours of interviews.
At least, I would say at least.
Yeah, at least 9 hours that we've cut down to 1 hour and 47 minutes. So like going through that and making sure that we were able to tell the best story out of everything that we recorded. And I think we got it. Like I think we're both very confident in the story, like we've said. So just moving on to the B-roll, it's just I can't wait.
And then we also have another thing, I guess, like content creation and growing our YouTube channel. So we've just been incredibly busy with like these, you know, 3 balls we're juggling of, you know, weddings, the documentary, the podcast studio, and then four balls we're juggling, I guess, and then content videos to kind of grow our channel. So our podcast is going to be, I think it's first just going to be on our YouTube, and I think eventually, you know, it'll spread out across the podcast platforms. I don't even know if iTunes is doing podcasts anymore. Does iTunes have
I believe so. I think it's not iTunes, but it's just like Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
It's its own app. Okay.
Because I remember I had a podcast like when COVID first started. I had to do something, and I started a Midwest weddings podcast. And I loved doing it. I had guests. It was awesome. And I remember I used a service that would just host it on oh my God, why can't I think of the names now? Like iHeartRadio, it was posted on there.
Sure. Like Spotify. Yeah,
Spotify. But we'll eventually get there. But I think it'll be first hosted on YouTube, and then we could like retroactively put those episodes out on those other platforms.
Yeah, and we're not thinking that it's going to be like super long form either.
Like an hour, right?
Yeah, about roughly an hour is what we were thinking. So it's not going to be like the JRE 2.5, 3 hour long podcast.
No, and it's not going to be a short one either. Like I feel like most podcasts are actually an hour. I think that's a good amount. I listen to more podcasts, I think, than you do, or whatever. Or at least I'm always on YouTube. And
I guess I tend to listen to more long form podcasts. So I'm like used to the format of like 1.5 to 2+ hours. And that's what I like the deep conversations that you can get into with guests of, you know, different professionalisms or professions. So But yeah, no, but I just wanted to make a point that like we weren't going to be having like 3 hour long podcasts on our YouTube and expecting everybody to listen to that kind. It's not going to be that kind of podcast.
Yeah,
that's all I want to say.
Yeah, I think the ideal time is about an hour, and not to allude to too much, but it's really just going to be like a hangout. Like our podcast is like, it might get serious sometimes. I would love to talk about serious topics, but more often than not, it's really just going to be like enjoying each other's company, hanging out, talking like current events, recent events. Like right now I'd be talking about baseball. I have a lot to talk about with baseball, with the Padres dugout yelling profanities at the umpires going in after the game. I think that's where the umpires had to go. They had to like go through the Padres dugout, and they were just saying like the craziest shit to these umpires. It was just wild.
See, this is great because like I didn't even hear about any of this. So
See, this is what we would pull
exactly.
up. You know,
this is
like
where we have
would
Tom,
pull that
like,
up.
And this is what the podcast.
Yeah, I've never seen. I watch
foreshadow.
baseball a lot, and I've never seen like, you see like umpires and coaches like going like this when they're this was different. Like I thought someone was gonna throw a punch. Like for real.
Wow.
Yeah.
And usually don't see that with the umpire. You see it between players, but like, were you saying like a player was going, or
a player, a manager, someone was going to hit one of these umpires?
Yeah, just so like I've rarely seen
by.
like actual violence being had with the umpire.
Yeah,
himself.
no, it looked like actual violence. It didn't look
Yeah.
like bluster or whatever. It looked like actual violence. So
Yeah.
that's one. And then another story is like the Yankees just getting decimated by Toronto, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
Fuck the Yankees.
I
by
did
the way.
actually see that, and what was it, like 11? I
Yeah,
forget what the
something,
ending
but
score,
it was
but
great.
I stopped watching it like 11-1 or 11-0. I forget exactly. And I was like, oh my gosh, so they hit a grand slam, and I was like, well, it's not too often you hit a grand slam in the postseason. I was like, good for that guy. And then like 3 batters later, there was another home run, and I was like, oh my god, they're just going off.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. My favorite time of year is watching the Yankees demise in the postseason.
Yeah.
So because we're Guardians fans, so we got kicked out pretty early, which sucks. RIP. But there's like a Guardian or two on Toronto's team. But anyway, like, yeah, baseball, and then like stuff that we've just been doing and like our take on things. Like, I don't know. We have like wedding stories. We've been working together for like 10 years at this point. The LLC is like 10, 11 years old at this point. The Inman LLC.
It has been quite the journey.
Yeah, and Tom is going to add a lot too. I really feel like Tom, being the producer, is going to add a lot. He's a lot of fun. You guys haven't met him personally yet on our channel. He's maybe made an appearance like for like a split second.
He came for the pizza challenge.
Yeah, the giant pizza challenge. And we can talk about that too. We can talk more about that kind of stuff, like our experience doing that. Because I didn't want to fill that video with excuses on why we totally, spoiler alert, we totally sucked. I didn't want to I didn't want to just like, when I was narrating that video, editing that video, I didn't want to just be like, this is why we suck, this is why we suck. But honestly, like, I think we can do way better. I just do like intermittent fasting, and it was at 2 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon when it was like not the time to eat, because as soon as I ate anything, I would just be full. So that was like, I literally was like eyeing my first piece, and it was almost gone. I'm like, I'm kind of full, and I was like, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked.
100% thought going, like, as soon as the pizza hit the table, I was like, nope, there's no way. Like, there was no part of me that thought we would hit half.
It looked,
I was like, it's so thick.
It's thick.
It's thick. The toppings were heavy, and as soon as it hit, I was just like, oh man, we messed up on the toppings.
No,
like,
they pulled no punches in that.
Like when I saw them dump the entire container of sausage
just
on it, I was like, oh my god, we made a mistake.
I didn't realize it. Like, I saw the size of it, I'm like, okay, and I knew all these things about my fasting in my head and stuff. But then when I picked it up, I'm like, they're not pulling any punches, because when I picked it up, you can see all the ingredients, but when everything's like frozen and looks flat, it looks like a crispy flat pizza. But then when everything has time to like expand and like heat up, and when you first pick it up, I was like, this pizza is heavy. Yeah. Like it's heavier than like an average piece of pizza. And I thought they would make it maybe easier, where it'd be like lighter than the average piece of pizza, because it was so much, but no way. But anyway, we'll talk about that kind of stuff. Like,
and the other thing with like the addition of Tom is like, Tom has been assisting us now in weddings
the same
for, like,
amount
the
of time,
last 5
almost.
or 6 years.
It's wild.
Pretty heavy. Like during our COVID seasons where we were doing 30 plus weddings a year, Tom was there for the majority of those, helping us out. So like his addition through the stories that we have it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to that.
We're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. It's gonna be a cool just hangout podcast that You can really get to know us. You can have in the background while you're working, because I do that all the time. I still really appreciate the conversation and what's going on, but like it's just playing in the background, and I totally get it. Or when I'm on a run, I like to like listen to people just talking. It gets my mind off other, like running. It sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like running, but I like listening to conversations, and that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
We have hour-long conversations all the time.
Yeah, and we often say like, "Oh man,
save it for the pod."
Because like this is one of those conversations, just to have like a different insight or different perspective on topics. Jesus Christ, that's two.
That's why it's back there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And we're gonna. I also have so many ideas for this podcast. Like maybe for like Halloween we can dress up, or like I had this idea where like we each have like $20 and go like buy clothes. I would buy clothes for David at the Goodwill for $20, and like we would do a podcast and that, but just not say anything about it till the very end. Just I don't know. Like there's so many ideas, and it's gonna be a fun, cool hang. Maybe some serious conversations, but more often than not, just like talking about our week and like catching up and talking about the stuff that I'm sure you guys are talking about with your friends.
Yeah. And as time goes on, I'm sure that we'll eventually have guests.
Yes, I would love to have guests. We have room for it.
Yeah, we would love to have conversations with other people, whether they have like, same views, like they just have interesting stories. Like I would love to get to a point to where we've got people that like reach out and say they'd like to be on the pod, or like we can reach out on behalf of the pod and be like, would you like to come? And they actually come. So not just people we currently know.
And so, like, if you like Bad Friends and podcasts like that, where it's just kind of like a hang, I think you'll love this podcast. We kind of base some things off of like the best of every podcast that we like, and we kind of incorporate it in this. But we're running low on time, so just want to say thank you for tuning in. David, do you have anything else?
No. I think just overall excited for everything that's going to be coming out. We gave a date on the documentary. I'm sure that we'll end up coming up with more like little teasers or talking about it more. Once we start our podcast, we will definitely have that be a topic. How could it not come up? But yeah, just look forward to sharing more in this format, and let us know if you're looking to start a podcast in a studio. We got a space for you.
Yep. Stay tuned on our journey. It's just gonna, I think, get better. So
yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. Next week.
Bye.
See you next week. Next Wednesday.